Hey guys, it's Matthew here and welcome back to my daily writing vlog. Currently I'm writing my current novel Moonlight Star Sin of Mercy. Sort of mix of fantasy, sci-fi, bit of a retro, takes place on the moon. Main character is Sheriff from Moon named Evelyn, where my best friend described it is some pun intended, Moonlight Star, Sheriff Star. In this chapter that I'm currently writing, heroine spent some time, about 2-3 hours as she figured out. Kicked into a parallel universe, she finally found her way back, found city that she's trying to save in the way worse condition than she left it. It's sky is wrong color, there's a magic barrier forming around the city, it's populated by monsters, there's strange yellow mist that is so thick that she can barely see mountain that's above the city. And also she take out her little scope and she starts most of Evelyn's part in this chapter is looking at the monsters down to the street. She jumps out from portal on top of one of the buildings. She notices monsters that are walking down the street. She takes out her scopes and she zooms in and she notices they are completely mutated, that they definitely used to be humans not that long ago, but they have still human legs. They also have some strange wizard legs. Their torso seems to be alright, but they don't have head. Their faces are spread across their body. Instead of hands, they have like this connection of long thick needles. And Evelyn realizes that while monsters are pretty much as rare as normal animals in this universe, and she faced many of them, as also magic anomalies aren't that strange in this universe where she described it. Magic anomalies are on Luna, as they call Earth's moon where she lives. They're about as normal as, let's say, on Earth they have tornadoes and hurricanes in tropical areas. Basically, warning came, hide and wait it out and then clean up. But Evelyn noticed that these monsters that of course came from botched ritual that villains attempted. Well, they attempted to sacrifice Evelyn's best friends. That didn't work that well. Liz, the best friend, survived it, but now city is populated with monsters. She realized that those monsters have no rhyme or reason to them. She faced ghouls, she faced various mutants and monsters and demons, but those were predators, those were effectively animals. There was some evolution, some logic. Not those fucks. She also realizes that while she managed to ask for help before she realized that villains are about to turn on her, or rather friendly folk from the city or other leaders of the city that she befriended. They were planning for a while to turn on her, to assassinate her, to get to her friends. She realized it just in the nick of the time, but not soon enough. She managed to call for help. She talked to her boss on radio. Of course, her radio got destroyed second she left the sewers. Supposedly to save her friends, she didn't know yet she's walking into a trap. They seized the radio, destroyed it, and now only way to call for help is one radio tower on a hill in the city. Here's the problem. Evelyn already called for help to deal with ghouls, dangerous but not the strange monsters that had nest in this city on sewers of the city, German Hill. But Liz realizes that cavalry that's going to help her is about 12 sheriffs and maybe some recruits or deputies. But to deal with shit that's going on in the city, that's gonna require army, that's gonna require everyone that can. It's gonna be months of work. And since she knows that people that are going to help her are brave and courageous and adrenaline junkies to the fault, they will probably send info to their bosses, but then they will rush to help her, which means they're gonna run into slaughter. Evelyn realizes that she needs to get to the radio tower. Originally, she wanted to get there to ask for help. Now it's gonna be to send messages how bad it went, and that other sheriffs should stay away before they have numbers that could back them up. Meantime, she notices that new monsters appear who look sort of like a wolf or giant dog, except its head is opening into like clover into four parts, and there's white mist coming out, which she recognizes it's a similar mist that she sees. She met those strange creatures, she named them silhouettes, in parallel universe when she was kicked out, but nothing made sense. It was very surreal. She didn't meet any humans. She became convinced, and for all we know, she might be right, that universe itself is one. This parallel reality, whole universe itself is one sentient being that is trying to communicate with her. But she realized also that those creatures she named silhouettes are made of white mist before they change shapes into humans or objects from your past, and they react to your strong emotions, which that's how she gets out. She thinks of, I need to find my friends, I need to find a way out of here. So basically the silhouettes stop on the place and start shape-shifting into different versions of her friend, and she realized there are multiple rifts, multiple portals into different universes. Then she finds most updated, for lack of better term. There are like 20 silhouettes that looks like her friend Liz, each standing next to a rift. She finds the one that looks just like last time she saw her friends, and she puts together that, okay, universe or whatever sentient being is here is telling me that, okay, this one is the rift that will take me home. That works, but now she puts together that, well, the Turned, as she named them, are clearly monsters made of humans. There are also those dog-like, those canine creatures who clearly came out from different universe. Perhaps the last one she visited, perhaps it was some other universe. And she saws that, okay, while those mutants are still dangerous, but there's no rhyme or reason to their mutations. Those dog-like, those canines, the beast, she calls them later. First time she calls him pup, later, but different character called them beasts, so I just stick to the beast, so there's some consistency. Instead of tongue, there's a white mist, and by this point, Evelyn puts together that this white mist reacts to strong emotion. They don't react to sight or even sound. They react to strong emotion, or unless something attacks them. And that's what they use to track their victims. And she looks at it, she sees the white light lighting up to the point it's blind her for a second, and she realizes that this creature feels some strong emotion, and she hunts it. It's like, for those creatures, strong emotion, extremely out of the facts emotion is like blood in water for shark. Evelyn, this is just for theory that Evelyn came out, but everything she saw so far suggested that that's exactly what's going on. She tries to run behind that creature, she tries to catch it up. Thank God that creature stops in intervals and looks around and tries to quote-unquote sniff up where its next victim is. In the meantime, we cut to Team, which we talk about in last chapter, origin or last video blog. Wait, Team is like this boy who used to have huge crush to Evelyn. Now he thinks she's a traitor because he believed the lies that Mayer told him. To be fair, he knew Evelyn for a month, he knew Mayer for his entire life, so there's no reason why we wouldn't believe Mayer. Team, we found that the Team is leading this group of survivors. They hide in restaurants for now, but one of them panics. Team has broken hand, he has kitchen knife he found, and he has a revolver from that friend named Kara. He found when he was taking these survivors, he found his friend also from militia, who was just torn into pieces and dead on the street, but he at least took her revolver. I called her Jessica in last vlog, but I check it out, her name is Kara. And he sees this guy and is thinking in his head, I need to protect these people. I may be last one from militia, and he's just a boy. he's very capable, but everyone look at him sort of. Tim was sort of like this, everyone's little brother, but now when his quote unquote older brothers and sisters may be all dead from all he knows, he decided that he's panicked and he's scared and wants to hide, but he goes, no, fuck it. I'm from militia, I'm a soldier, I'm gonna protect those people, even if it kills me. He puts his hand, he like flips the knife so he's safe and puts hands on his chest and try to push this guy back, and he reminds what Father Nicholas, who founded militia, told him. Your voice needs to go, your tone needs to go down, your volume needs to go up, you need to be dominant, you cannot seem too scared. Even if they're panicking, you need to stand your ground, you need to be something that calms them down. You cannot put down fire with oil, so don't start yelling and panicking to them. Eventually, she managed to calm this guy down who's having complete panic attack. Now, let me out, let me out. He effectively put all the survivors in the basement, figuring out that it's Tiggle. At this point, he has no reason not to believe that monsters aren't tracking sound or smell. So he puts them in basement of this old restaurant. There's a very thin staircase. It's pretty deep. Okay, you're gonna be safe there. I'm gonna go for recon, at least check it out if it's safe. These guys loses it, start yelling, let me out, let me out. My team is worried about sound. Of course, monsters aren't tracking sound, they're tracking emotion, but in this scenario, it might as well be the same thing. And team is thinking about difficult decision because he realized he would never want to do anything bad to this person. But there's 8 more down there, and he cannot risk all of them for this one guy. So he's thinking, and Father Nicholas, who was very open-minded, told them Tim remembers that when he was training those kids to one day protect their homes and to be militiamen and soldiers and only defense of the city, Father Nicholas, who was, before he became priest, in war, in multiple wars in fact, he told them, you're gonna face some impossible decisions and you're gonna hate, no matter what you choose, you're gonna hate yourself for the rest of your life, but once you take the responsibility for other people's life, there is no stepping back. So poor Tim is there and he's thinking, I can try to calm it. He's thinking, please calm down, because if you don't, and his options are kill him, which is horrible. First option is left him behind, but there's a chance he follow them and it panics even more. He gets them into even more trouble. Other option is to kill him, which would sure as hell wouldn't make good for morale of other survivors. And other option than that is to knock him out, but then other survivors will have to carry him, and then again slows them down and puts them into more danger. Then he managed to calm down, but just in that time, the beast, the monster that tracks the motion, slammed down, runs through the wall, little bit of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis flavor. There are basically 2 windows in between them, brick wall. Monsters just run straight through the wall. So Tim just pushes the guy with one hand, with his shoulder, with his legs, pushes him, makes him roll down the stairs. He's worried that he might break his neck, but it's better than nothing. That girl who has crush on Tim, who wants to be his girlfriend, she pops out and yells what's happening. Tim just goes, stay down here, slams the door. He hopes. He figures out, even if it was behind his back, he can hear and in periphery see that big wall was destroyed by one impact, so he imagines that monster is big enough, and it is. I said it looks like a canine beast. It's more of a size of a pony or even a horse. It's a really big fucking monster. Tim puts together that they will be safe there, that hopefully the staircase is into basement is way too thin for this monster to get through. But if it's like a wild animal, as Tim believe it is, it will try to get inside, it will try drag more attention to them, and it will block their only way out. So Tim decided, fuck it, as much as I would want to go down there and hide, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna fucking fight. Even if it means I'm gonna die, I'm fighting. And he takes out, there's no time to take out the revolver, so he just keeps the kitchen knives and goes, okay, come at me, bitch, I'm gonna take you down. And he's so pumped out of adrenaline, and there are flashes imagining himself being torn out of pieces, but he still decides to go for it. He gets in the stand, he's expecting monster to jump at him, and it's described that he almost didn't realize he hears shouting. And meantime, it cuts back to Evelyn, who was chasing the monster on the rooftops. She hopes she's gonna manage to take out. Evelyn has her badge is basically magic amulet, and pretty much only magic she can do. There's some mild she can fix some electronics which come to play later. It was foreshadowed way earlier. It will come into play later, and she can basically summon weapons. It's almost like video game style. She carries about 50 weapons on her. She can usually take out 1 or 2, and she still needs to reload them. But she has basically video game style inventory in universe. That's her style of gun magic. She's switcher. There are also other gun mages, her associates, who helps her. There's Keaton, who can charge shots, and there's Reno, who can exchange, who has semi-automatic / full automatic pistol. He can shoot different size bursts and change their properties, either turn them into mine or homing missiles or 2 bullets that spin around each other like a drill. But they don't matter now, they're doing something else. Previous chapters were about them now. Evelyn, her gun magics is in that inventory thing. Like I said, video game style inventory. She can take out multiple weapons. She has sniper rifle on her, she has machine gun on her if she decides to summon them, and she hopes she gets a shot and destroys from roof that monster, or at least drags in attention. But monster jumps in, so she parkours down, she jumps from the roof, she catches on the... This wasn't described yet. I wanted to create action scenes. It's sort of like in medias action scenes when she's shooting. When we see Evelyn, she's already shooting at him, and then we explain what's her tactic and how she got there. So basically what happened, she wanted to shoot him from the rooftops, but Beast was too fast and attacked inside the building. She doesn't yet know that Tim's there. Tim thinks she's traitor, so he might try to kill her when she sees it's her. That will come to later, maybe end of this chapter or later chapter. She just thought she heard scream and cry and human voices, so she goes, fuck it, I'm sheriff, I protect people. I hate honor before reason, I hate irrational character, but Evelyn, she's very combat pragmatic, she's very rational, but also inside that rationality, my job is to protect people. She wouldn't choose one person over 1,000 people, and she has a bit of a selfish, like any human is, when she wants to mainly save her best friend and get out of here unscathed, but there's that humanity and there's that duty when she just cannot make herself to turn in another direction when there might be a chance there's people who needs her help. There are people who needs her help. I swear to God, I write better than I talk. Now, so she takes out her machine gun or sniper, but it's too late, so she jumps down from the roof. It's maybe 3 or 4 floors high, so not that great. She lands on the... Oh my God, how it's called? Street light lamp. She's on the lab. She managed to jump like gymnast. He jokes that if I'm gonna survive it, I'm definitely gonna ride my elementary school gymnast teacher, because she's not gonna believe this shit. She jumps down, she takes out her pistol, and she shooting as far as she can, just to drag the detection. She's using as her main sidearm. There's a rule that sheriffs have that you always need to have one. There's of course your video game inventory magic amulet, who doubles as a sheriff's badge for Moonlight Sheriff, that you can summon XYZ amount of weapons, but since I don't like overpowered things in stories, it's explained multiple times that magic is just a tool, just like weapon, just like knives, and any tool will fail you eventually. There were already times when her amulet simply jammed. That's why every sheriff is required to always have at least one ranged weapon and at least one melee weapon on them all the time. Evelyn has 9mm Browning high power as her pistol, and she has Bowie knife. So she takes out those two and she runs and shoots And there's a technique I heard about when you pull the trigger full to shoot. Hold on. But there's a technique where you pull once to shoot and you don't return all the way with your finger and then pull again. She's doing this one-handed while she's running. Her accuracy is completely fucked. She's sprinting, she's shooting with one hand, plus shooting as fast as she can. And there's also a joke inside when she's thinking, there were many of those, she says there's one of those techniques they were taught in academy. And first thing that instructor would told them is, don't ever use this technique, don't ever rely on this technique, don't even think about those techniques. And they would always say, okay, then why the fuck are we learning them? And the instructor would respond with, in case you're gonna be so fucked, it's your only option. And that's what's happening. Right now, it's not about killing the monster, it's just about dragging its attention, effectively draw aggro. She doesn't know its team that monster is after, but she figures out there are some survivors that monster is about to kill. So she's just shooting all she can just to get its attention. I read an article recently that some people argue in real life that 9mm is actually better handgun to deal with bears than Magnum, because a lot of people as anti-bear protection would use some high caliber revolver, Magnum 44 or Magnum 357. I read the article that apparently it's way better to use 9mm because you need to make shoots as many times as fast as you can. I think they said either put bear to shock or to make him bleed, or at least chase him out, and that's what Evelyn's doing. She's gonna summon later shotgun, knives, swords to fight it. There's gonna be this, I'm gonna write it tomorrow, this really claustrophobic fast fight. It's not gonna be just blow by blow. I'm getting better at action scenes as I go, but there is some blow by blow, but I also like to go really into characters' thoughts and their tactics. Basically, I write in super slow-mo for lack of better term and explain every move, not literally every, that would be boring, but characters move, the way they're shifting their weight, why they're doing that, what they hope to achieve. If something goes wrong, and there's always something that goes wrong, how they're gonna react. I noticed for some reason action scenes in this book were so far a bit worse than in my previous one. So I'm gonna fix that, obviously. I'm looking forward because I got back to the groove and this one's gonna be great. But that's for tomorrow. So far, Evelyn is running at the monster, shooting at him as fast as she can to get his attention. And we get to the full fight tomorrow. And that also concludes this video blog. So again, I'm Matteo. This was daily writing video blog about my story Moonlight Star, Sin of Mercy. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna publish on this channel when I'm gonna finish book. I'm gonna read it all, first draft, and of course then all the fixed revisions and second drafts. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and can't wait to see you next time. Stay awesome. Bye.